Part 35 of Let's Play Dragon Force. MarauderEX here. Fighting the good fight. Got a lot of unexpected stuff going on in this video. Getting attacked by Trandor. You know, this is forever and a day after I've taken over one of their castles. I've got the Skull Children on their way down, dealing with rearranging troops that they've displaced. And it starts off with Wynn requesting to go first. If a general ever requests deployment, give it to them. Chances are you're going to win, and if you deny it, it sours their disposition. Wynn obviously won't leave me, but if it's another general, I don't think Ramsel or Kid can do it. I wouldn't be surprised if like Ogrid or Lone would just decide that they no longer want to be on your team and just defect. And one of the easiest way to have a general defect is if you piss them off by not allowing them deployment. If they want to go into battle, let them go into battle. Now, I went into this fight with 100 soldiers, and I'm down to half that. Having more troops just means there's more targets to get hit with large AoE spells like Dante's Inferno. Now granted, they can only get it off once, so I'm not terribly worried about it, but still, be careful. The rest of this fight, though, is going to be kind of easy. I mean, look how much damage I just did with Sonic Flame. This fight's over. And you saw Hyperstorm, which is not useful. It's useful if they've got like 100 troops and you want to cut them down quickly, but because it doesn't do any damage, it's forever going to be second to things like Sonic Wave and Sonic Blast. I'd say even Sonic Wave's a little more useful because even though it doesn't have as large of an area, it can still take out close to the same number of troops, and then it does damage. So, yeah. They really didn't balance out some of the special abilities well. And I'm fairly sure, like, Wynn's third ability is Cross Flash, the first one. So, really, with Wynn, the Monarchs get a special case, because their level 3 ability will always be, whichever one you choose, will be replaced. So, Junon will not have Sonic Blast throughout the end of the game. Once I complete the Shrine section of the game, I will get Dragon Blast, in which the animation for her attack stays the same. She jumps up into the air and slices down, but instead of the 5 waves of Sonic Boom going out, it's a golden dragon flying across the battlefield. It does the same damage spread that Sonic Blast would do, but the effect looks different because she's the leader of the Dragon Force in this campaign. Goldark gets Dragon Rush, replacing Cross Rush. So he gets the emblem of Harscult, the sacred dragon. It appears over him, and then he starts glowing, and he flies across the battlefield like normally you would with a Cross Rush, killing anything in the way. But then when you get to your opponent, as you're sitting here beating up on them, it does little explosions, and then the last hit does a very large explosion. The whole screen goes white. And it does a lot more damage than your typical Cross Rush. So it does have uses. I've never actually seen Wynn's Dragon Force special ability, because I've never played through the end of the game with him that far. So I do know what Terrace is, though. She gets her last ability, Summon Wyvern, which a wyvern appears in front of her and flies across the screen and kills a couple of troops and then lands in front of your general and breathes fire onto them. You just get a super version of that. So it's one of those, always curious to see. Another interesting thing, the Ismo troops, or at least Mikhail, his sonic boom is different. He has a different animation for sonic boom. Instead of the blue shark fins, he gets a purple wave that flies just above the ground, and you see energy trails on the ground in purple where it's going. It does the same thing, but it has a different effect. And I've never played through the story far enough to see his ability, but I've always been kind of curious as to what it is. I mean, if they give him a special ability, Thunderfall. See, look at that. That is what I was saying. Thunderfall can fucking rape you. He just took out so many of my troops with that. It's not even funny. That was just ridiculously overpowered. Alright, it's gonna come to a duel. I'm not concerned about them. And even less so because apparently they're retreating. That's kind of rare for a general to retreat when they are a combat type class, like fighter or knight. I guess they just realized that they didn't have the HP for it to be statistically possible to win. So yeah, when I finally take over Ismo, I'll be sure to show what Mikhail's Sonic Boom looks like, because, like I said, it's interesting that they give different animations simply because he's a samurai class. Bardol. I believe Bardol is one of Trandor's starting generals. I'm not entirely sure. Most of the Trandor generals kind of blend together because they're all magic users, and magic users to me they're all pretty much the same thing. Alright. And he starts off with Holy Shield. Thankfully though, most of my troops weren't close enough to actually get hit by it. And now my troops are going to take out the rest of his. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here because this battle's pretty much over. So I will see you all in part 36. Take care, all.